What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wes Grand. You're watching Urban Nerd, this channel where I give my nerd views on today's nerd news. Well, today's nerd news is gonna have a little Infinity Wars. Maybe has a chance of beating that top record. You've got Donnie Yen joining the cast of the live-action Mulan. Nicolas Cage wants to be the Joker or something else, and then you've got Zack SNYDER once again trolling the internet. But before I get into all that, one thing I'd like to take a time and to slow it down for, and that's I spoke on this about a couple months ago or something like that about Stan Lee. Before was Stan Lee was dealing with some medical issues, and he had to be rushed to the hospital. But after that, there's been a lot more things, because his wife died, I believe died last year, Joni Lee, and yeah, he's, when someone that you love dies, sometimes for older people, it's a lot harder for them to get through. Like, I know someone that, his dad died, and then at the day of the funeral, the mom died. So definitely, like, when you've got that soulmate, sometimes it takes a toll on your heart, and like, older people, sometimes it just happens like that. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen with Stan Lee. But the worst thing about this is, since this has all happened, people have just been taking advantage of him. I saw that someone, while he was in the hospital, I believe, one of his managers or something like that, took his blood. They took his blood and infused it into pen ink, and then signed comics that he made and selling them. So they're selling Stan Lee's blood. They're like, this is just so inhuman, or something that should not even be fathomed that someone would do. And especially to Stan Lee. He's pretty much the world's grandpa. He's that grandpa that's always waving high and always being polite. In all the Marvel movies, he's always there. He always has energy like you don't believe. I've seen him in person, like, probably twice. The first Comic-Con that was in New York, I saw Stan Lee. I took a picture. I was far as hell, but I took a picture. And it's blurry, but you can tell it's Stan Lee. So that's my one thing. But like, it's now thinking about what he's had to go through, because a couple days ago he was at a Comic-Con, or Stan Lee Comic-Con or something like that, and then he was signing his name on comics. And from what I'm hearing, he didn't even get a lunch break. He couldn't even remember his name. He was just so delirious that, like, someone had to whisper in his name, Stanley, while he was writing his name. And that is just, you don't treat your elderlies like that. He's the world's elderly. I don't see why. And then from what I'm hearing, the daughter might have something to do with it. Might not be the daughter giving abuse. I don't know what the real story is, but it may be something with the people that she's been around, like people that she knows, kind of, you know how it is when you have someone like that's very influenced, and it's not like she's young. I believe she's like 44 or 64 or something like that. But the people around here sees the opportunity, and apparently Stan Lee's wife was the one that took care of all the management of his promotions and all that. And once he died, the vultures came around, circled, and jumped on it, and they basically took over, and they're just using him, and they're manipulating him, and they're just getting as much out of him before he dies, and I don't like that, and you should like that. And if anything, speak up. Like a couple days ago, like right after this happened, Kevin Smith, he tweeted out that, hey, Stan Lee, if you need someone to say, stay with me, you don't have to worry about these vultures and stuff like that. And Kevin Smith, I praise you, because you know what? Someone has to stand up for this guy. I'm a little guy. I don't have nothing. I have no money. But these big time, even Disney, you know what I'm saying? You've worked with them. You've done cameos with them. Look out for him, yo. Get a private investigator to find out what's going on with this thing. Get some lawyers or something. Like, this guy needs help, and someone needs to help him. So, I'm sorry I had to go on that rant, but it's just so much has happened to this guy, and I feel so bad for him, and I just want people to know to this is what's really happening. That's that nice guy that you see in all these Marvel movies. He's getting screwed, and someone needs to help him. So, that being done, I'm gonna go on some positive notes. So the first topic on the nerd news, it's Avengers. Avengers Infinity War is on track to beat The Force Awakens for the box office opening weekend. Now, this is coming on the heels of the reason with the pre-order sales tickets, right? Now, mind you, I'm gonna just let you know, the record of pre-order sale tickets, they're going to continuously get broken. Why? Because more and more people are realizing you can pre-order these tickets. So it's going to get broken for the next 2 or so years. For every big major movie. So don't think too much about that. But that being said, it's twice as much as the Black Panther did at this time. And they say if you take the last 7 movies of the Marvel franchise, Marvel Universe, and put them all together, Avengers is still beating them. Take that into mind. Avengers is still beating all 7 put together. So that's including Doctor Strange. That's including the Guardians of the Galaxy. There's like all the last 7, Civil War, all that. So this has a chance of getting up there. I don't know if it's gonna get to that 2 billion mark because you know what? That's the Force Awakens getting up to that. It's something. This is a big event, and that was a big event because it's been a while for Star Wars. But this is a big event because it's been a 10 years making. So it has a chance. If there's any movie that has a chance, this has a chance. And as far as beating the box office weekends, all they have to do is beat 247. That's what The Force Awakens did. If they could get that magical number of 250, they're gold. They're gold. So, as far as that, I think maybe, just maybe has a chance. I myself plan on seeing it probably like 2 or 3 times. I want to see it in D-Box. If y'all guys don't know what D-Box is, that's the thing that's moving, where it leans forward and it's shaking, like, you know what I'm saying? But as far as that, I want to see it in IMAX because I'm hearing this whole thing was filmed in IMAX as well. And I don't want to go to that BS IMAX where you go to these theaters and they just open the screen up a little bit more. No, I want the stadium seats IMAX because that's real IMAX. I hate the fact that you go to these theaters and expect IMAX. It's just some bullshit. Sorry, but it's just that BS that as far as real IMAX, it's nowhere. IMAX curves. Not this little bigger triangle that's just covering the space that should be covered already in a damn movie theater. I'm sorry, but that's just BS. But I'm going to see that. Sorry, going off on the rant again. Going on to the next topic. We've got Donnie Yen. He's being cast in a live-action Mulan as Commander Tung. And if you don't know, Tung is going to be the person, the mentor of Mulan. And he's going to be trainer. And I just can't wait to see this because this is gonna be something big. Sort of like, I don't know if it's gonna be as big as the Black Panther, but it's cultural. You know what I'm saying? Something that you don't see that much, and it's gonna be cast all Asians. Hopefully, all Asians. I don't want that whole BS of the half Asian, half white, or whatever. Looks more white than Asian. No, I want full Asian. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing half Asian, at least look more Asian. You know, I don't want to be kind of wondering, confused if this is that. So that and Donnie Yen, if you guys don't know off the name of Donnie Yen is Ip Man. If you don't know Ip Man, he's the what's that movie? Rogue One, the blind Asian guy. That's Donnie Yen. So that guy being in the Mulan is good. It's great because his moves. If you watch the first Ip Man, you will see why he's a great addition to Mulan. So going on to the next topic, we've got Charlize Theron. She sort of confirms that there's gonna be a Atomic Blonde. I haven't seen Atomic Blonde myself, but the action I'm here is great. It's pretty much like a female version of Jason Bourne. You know, pretty much whipping ass, or they say more like a female version of John Wick. As far as like the assassin just takes out everybody, she's just hardcore. And the fight scenes I'm hearing is great. I still need to see it, but I've seen clips of the fight and it looks brutal. But yeah, she was at this is reported by IndieWire, and she was speaking to an audience at the San Francisco International Film Festival, and she pretty much dropped the beans that it's in progress. You know, it's in development, that Atomic Blonde 2. So I didn't know it made enough to warrant this, but I guess it was low budget. So if it's low budget, sort of like the first John Wick, it's not that hard. If it just made like if it made like 100 million, like say, if it made like 150 million, I think it should make a sequel. But yeah, so hopefully Charlize Theron, the second, hopefully like you learn, because it wasn't getting a lot of good reviews. It was getting okay reviews, but you know what? If they learned and they basically change some little things and then make some additions, it's all good. Going on to the next topic, we've got Jake Gyllenhaal. He says, hashtag, nope, I'm not the Batman. And that's shocking because I could have... everyone made it seem like this might be happening. I'm hoping that he's just BSing us and, like, you know, trolling us. And, like, this really... Because Jake Gyllenhaal, he just... If you look at him, he can be the perfect Batman. I know everyone... I do love the Ben Affleck Batman. I do, because he's gritty, hard, just... But Jake Gyllenhaal just has that look. He has that look that he can be suave. He can get himself jacked. Because if you ain't seen Southpaw, you don't know how jacked this dude could get. And very physical. Like, he gets into the role. I think he could get both sides as far as the pretty boy, suave, and the gritty Batman. Like, so when they were asking all the questions, I could just picture it. They was like, hey, what about the new Batman coming up? Like, I don't want to talk about it. Hey, about, do you have the suit or whatever? I don't want to talk about it. Why don't you want to talk about it? Because I'm not Batman! So, if he did that, that would have been just funny. But, regardless, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that he stays on, but it's looking like he might not. So, that's what that is. Next, we've got Luke Cage. There's images of Luke Cage Season 2 coming up, and it's including, there's going to be a new villain. The villain is Bushmaster, which sounds kind of weird. I'm thinking, like, is that a brewmaster? Is it some guy that just has a lot of hair? I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know that comic as far as that bad guy, but yeah, he's a crime boss, and Misty Stone's gonna be in there. And if you guys don't know, spoiler alert, she gets her arm chopped off in Defenders. Which, if you guys don't know Misty Stone, if you look her up, she has mechanical arms. So I kind of knew that was gonna happen. The way it happened, but it's gonna happen. And Bushmaster is pretty much bullet resistant as well, because what it is something happens. He finds out about this Luke Cage. He wants his powers. He kidnaps the people that did it to him and goes back to the place where they did it. And then he has them do the same experiment on him. But while it's happening, I think a wire falls out and electrocutes it. So he's pretty much got this power, but it's a little bit more amplified. So he's got even more of the power. So his body comes like more steel than the regular. So yeah, that would be a good villain. Like, but time and time again, when you see these comic books, there's always a villain. And I'm not knocking it. That's because I have a book where, like, it's called Break by Wes Grant, where there is a character sort of like my character that is just amplified even more. So, hey, Luke Cage, as big as he is, has someone else with the same power, but just a little bit stronger. That happens. Look at Black Panther. You got Black Panther and Killmonger. That happens. You got Iron Man. Iron Man's the first suit, and you got the I forget there was another suit that you had to fight. Pretty much all these comic book movies, there's always someone that has the same power. Superman fights Zod. It's just it's a thing that happens. We just got to get over that. It's a trope that they always follow. But hey, if they do a good story and they get you interested in the people, then it don't matter as long as this is something that you enjoy watching. So Luke Cage. And also, like they say, the Daughters of Dragon, which is Misty Knight, and that I forget the lady, an Asian lady that's always saving Iron Fist's ass in the series in the first season. But yeah, like maybe they might join together because that happened in the comic books and they had their own little team. So maybe that happened. So fingers crossed, because I like that Asian girl in the Iron Fist. Sorry, I don't even remember Iron Fist like that because I tried to block it out because that was just a horrible season. The worst Marvel series that they've ever had. Even Defenders was better than this. And Defenders made him look a little bit better, but he's still sort of annoying. Next, we've got Nicolas Cage wants to play the Joker or Dr. Doom. And I think that would be great because I don't know, I might use a thumbnail for this, for the Nicolas Cage. But him wanting to be... I could just picture this. Like, I'm just picturing Face Off, because in some point in the comic book, Joker gets his face cut off, and I could just see him as the Joker just, the face off. And I think that would be pretty awesome. If there was anyone that could tap into the Joker's personality, his craziness, I think it would be Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage could do Dr. Doom is a little bit more methodical and a little bit more, thing. I don't know about Nicolas Cage with that, but I definitely would like to see him as Joker. If you guys agree with me, comment down below and tell me, because I think it's an awesome idea. I doubt it'll happen, but I think it'd be an awesome idea. Next, we've got Zack SNYDER tweets more variants of the design of Steppenwolf. So pretty much since this whole fiasco, he's just been tweeting out images of what could have happened, images of this, and people getting hyped about this, oh, Zack Snyder cut. I don't care about the Zack Snyder cut. Why? Because I didn't like Batman vs. Superman. I didn't like it. Most people didn't like it. So just because you didn't like Justice League and Joss Whedon came in, added a little funny things, he tried to do the best he can, you think that the Zack Snyder cut's gonna be even better? No, it's just gonna be darker. This guy's gonna be darker. Maybe take out some of the jokes. Zack Snyder has some jokes here and there. Sometimes they don't pan out, but I don't think it would be any better. So just stop asking for it, people. It wouldn't be good. Just stop. But yeah, I'll try and see if I can get the link down below in the description about this whole about these images. And then one of the last things, we've got images of Beast Boy, Raven, and Starfire for the Titans series that's going to be on TV. And all I have to say is what the because, all right, Beast Boy don't look that bad. Spiky green hair don't look that bad. Raven, it sort of looked like she's wearing a wig. I don't know why you wouldn't just have a girl dye her hair blue. I just think it would work better. But the worst of all is Starfire, being played by a lady. Her name is she's beautiful. Her name is Anna Diop, and this girl was in the series, the new 24 that came back. She was the wife of the main black character. And when she first got voted, I wasn't sure if she would be a good fit for it. I just had a different vision of Starfire, but this thing, all right, being as a black person, right, watching black people or black females, when they get red hair, because sometimes you do crazy different color hair. When you do red hair, to me, what works is if you're of darker complexion, short red hair, pixie cut. Maybe if you're gonna do curly, but short, like little Tony Braxton kind of thing, little curls, that can work. If you're lighter, the long kind of red hair definitely works, like smooth or whatever. They didn't go none of those routes. I mean, she's darker complexion, beautiful, darker complexion. They gave her this Raggedy Ann curly wig. Like, I don't understand. They put on a fur coat, the dress, some velts, boots. I don't know who she's supposed to be, but that ain't my Starfire. I'll tell you that much. It really isn't. Hashtag nope. I don't like that, and y'all shouldn't either, so I'm going to stop with that. I don't want to rip on it, but I'll put the links down in the description so y'all can see that, and tell me if y'all think this is good, because I don't, so just comment below, let me know. Last, we're going to just go off of the movies that are coming out this weekend, or tomorrow, and you've got 4 to choose from. You got Truth or Dare, which is sort of from a Blumhouse, so usually, like, I thought that it looks stupid from the commercial, but I also thought that Happy Death Day was going to be stupid and it turned out being good, so we'll see. You've got Cyborg versus McEnroe, which is going to the starring Charlotte LaBeouf, playing a tennis player that was very over the top. You've got Isles of Dogs, which looks creepy as hell to me. Looks like it's stop motion, where all the dogs get kicked out of Japan and put on one island. And the last of all, you've got Rampage, and not the wrestler, the MMA fighter that was in the A-Team movie, but Rampage with The Rock and a big monkey, or gorilla, sorry, albino gorilla, George. And it looks really over the top. It looks funny. I'm hearing some good reviews. I'm hearing that it's good fun, good action, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I don't know when, but I don't know, maybe I'll see it this weekend. I don't know. If I see it, no, maybe if I see a movie, I'll probably see it Tuesday, because Tuesday's a cheaper day, and cheaper day is always a better day. Plus free popcorn. So that's pretty much it for my nerd news for today. Sorry, I tried to squeeze it down as much as I can, but it turned out to be like a little bit longer than I normally do videos. Usually I try and keep it about 15 minutes, but this is like 3 more minutes, so just, give me a little leeway. So that's pretty much it for the nerd news. Remember to tag, comment down below, share this with your friends, like, and remember to subscribe. Check out my last daily nerd news. Check out my playlist of the nerd news. And remember, I'm Wishcrat. You've been watching Urban Nerd, and you've just been nerdified. Catch you guys on the next daily news.